Welcome, green thumbs and fellow nature enthusiasts, to another exciting episode of Planet Wisdom. Today, we're delving into the magical world of composting. In the realm of gardening, there's a profound wisdom to be found in observing and imitating the processes that Mother Nature herself orchestrates. Composting isn't merely a means to recycle kitchen and garden waste. It's a harmonious collaboration with the ecosystem. By understanding the delicate balance of green and brown materials, the significance of aeration, and the crucial role of moisture management, we can accelerate the composting process and witness the transformation of organic matter into a nutrient-rich elixir for our gardens. Join us on this journey as we explore the essential principles of composting, borrowing cues from the intricate dance of nature. Learn how to mimic her efficiency, foster a thriving microbial community, and turn your compost heap into a powerhouse of growth for your plants. Composting revolves around four essential elements: green materials, brown materials, air, and water. Strike the perfect balance, and you'll witness a remarkable transformation in your compost heap.
Composting's easy when you keep in mind the basics: green materials, brown materials, air, and water. Get the balance of these four ingredients right and you'll dramatically shrink the time it takes to create beautifully crumbly, sweet-smelling compost.
Green materials, high in nitrogen, include kitchen scraps, grass clippings, and coffee grounds. Browns, rich in carbon, consist of dried leaves, straw, and shredded newspaper. It's all about achieving that delicate harmony.
First up, aim for the right mix of green materials to browns. We want roughly equal proportions. But what determines whether something is a green or a brown? Well, green materials tend to have a higher nitrogen content and will be sappier and fleshier in texture. Examples include grass clippings, spent crops and old bedding plants, weeds, make sure they're free of seeds so you don't spread them around, and then any kitchen scraps, those can go in as well. Not all green materials are obvious. Tea leaves and coffee grounds, those are actually greens despite being brown because they have quite a high nitrogen content. Similarly, look at these grass clippings. They're quite brown, but they still count as greens because all they've lost is moisture and the nitrogen content remains unaffected. And then we have our browns, which have a higher carbon content, making them drier, coarser materials. Examples include leaves, plenty of those right now, dried ones that have fallen from the trees, twiggy prunings, wood chippings, straw, and then anything made from plant materials, so scrunched up or shredded newspaper or torn up bits of cardboard.
To speed up the composting process, introduce natural activators like herbivorous animal manure or coffee grounds. Skip the expensive commercial accelerators. Mother Nature provides the best boost. And don't forget aeration. Regularly turning or mixing your compost introduces vital oxygen, fueling the microbial activity that transforms your compost into a nutrient-rich powerhouse. Moisture management is key. Cover your compost heap to insulate it, especially in winter, and prevent it from becoming too wet. Remember, soggy compost is a no-go. Whether it's too wet or a bit dry, keeping an eye on moisture levels ensures a happy, thriving compost heap. Let's strive for that perfect balance. Time to build your compost heap. Start directly on the soil to invite those wonderful worms and beneficial bacteria. Pallets make excellent compost bin walls, creating an insulated haven for decomposition. Creating a thriving compost pile is not just about throwing organic matter together. It's a delicate dance that involves understanding and respecting the needs of the composting ecosystem. Here are 5 crucial pieces of advice to ensure your compost pile reaches its full potential. Balanced greens and browns. Maintain a harmonious balance between green and brown materials. The magic happens when nitrogen-rich greens, like kitchen scraps and grass clippings, combine with carbon-rich browns, such as dried leaves and shredded newspaper. Aim for equal proportions to keep your compost pile happy and active. Natural activators for acceleration. Boost your composting process by introducing natural activators. Herbivorous animal manure, coffee grounds, or even your own liquid gold, yes, urine, are potent sources of nitrogen that kickstart decomposition. Forget about store-bought accelerators. Nature provides the best catalysts. Aerate regularly for oxygen. Oxygen is the lifeblood of composting. Regularly turn or mix your compost pile to introduce fresh oxygen, invigorating the microbial community responsible for breaking down organic matter. This step might be a bit of a workout, but the benefits in accelerated decomposition are well worth the effort. Temperature management for efficiency. Keep a close eye on the temperature of your compost pile. The sweet spot for optimal decomposition ranges from 120 degrees Fahrenheit to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. This heat is generated by the microbial activity breaking down materials. Turning your compost regularly not only introduces oxygen but also helps maintain this temperature range, significantly speeding up the composting process. Moisture control. Strike the right balance with moisture. Cover your compost pile during rainy seasons to prevent oversaturation, and use materials like cardboard to shield it from excessive moisture. If your compost pile gets too wet, it can become anaerobic and malodorous. On the other hand, if it's too dry, use a watering can to rehydrate it. Aim for a moisture level where the material feels moist but doesn't drip when squeezed. The texture of perfect compost is crumbly and friable, with a loose structure that resembles a well-aerated soil. It should have a pleasant, fine consistency that easily crumbles between your fingers. It has a dark, rich color, often described as dark brown or black. This indicates a high concentration of organic matter and the breakdown of materials into humus, the organic component of soil. The ideal compost emits a fresh, earthy fragrance. A well-managed compost pile should not produce unpleasant odors such as ammonia or rotting smells. The absence of foul odors indicates a balanced mix of greens and browns and proper aeration. Well-made compost is uniform in its composition. It doesn't have large, recognizable pieces of undecomposed materials. Instead, it presents as a consistent, homogeneous mixture, indicating that the organic matter has undergone thorough decomposition. The perfect compost is a nutrient powerhouse. It is loaded with essential plant nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and micronutrients. This nutrient-rich composition makes it an excellent soil conditioner, enhancing the fertility of garden soil. Achieving the perfect compost requires attention to detail, proper layering of materials, regular turning for aeration, and maintaining the right moisture and temperature conditions. With these factors in place, your compost will become a valuable resource for enriching your garden soil and promoting healthy plant growth. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications.